Today's talking point from your official guide to being a good Republican. Talking point number 601. There is no disaster so great that we can't come together as Americans and take advantage of it. The people of Joplin, Missouri have been devastated by killer tornadoes. Now, the knee-jerk reaction would be to help them. Luckily, Congressman Eric Cantor of Virginia is thinking more clearly. He says we've got to approach this like a family who has endured a tragedy.
Because families don't have unlimited money, and really, neither does the federal government.
I don't know how your family would react, but mine would immediately start tearing each other apart. And Eric Cantor has begun doing just that by insisting that nobody get any disaster relief until we offset the money elsewhere. Yes, we do want to help people who are in desperate need of food, water, and shelter. But first, before we do that, before we even think of doing that, before we reach out that helping hand, we want to pay off trillions of dollars of debt that we've piled up over several decades, none of which had anything to do with the war in Iraq or huge tax breaks for the rich. Look, anything else would be like, I don't know, rescuing people from a burning building before paying off the mortgage on that building. It's a question of prioritizing. Besides, if we coddle the victims of tornadoes, everyone will be throwing themselves in front of tornadoes just so they can get a government handout of bottled water and blankets. Oh, I'm sorry, hammocks. Tragedy always brings people closer together, and that's good because it makes it easier for Eric Cantor to throw them all under the bus. And that's talking point number 601 from your official guide to being a good Republican.
If you bail out tornado victims, then everybody's going to throw themselves in front of a tornado just for a free bottle of water. You know that. You know that. That's the entitlement mentality of these United States. Can I just read you something? I think this is very important to understand. This is Robert Reich, the former labor secretary, who wrote a piece today about the American economy that I think everybody needs to hear. The U.S. economy continues to stagnate. I think we all can agree. So far, so good? Clark, you okay with me? The U.S. economy continues to stagnate. It's growing at the rate of 1.8%, which is barely growing at all. Consumer spending is down. Home prices are down. Jobs and wages are going nowhere. You with me, Clark? It's vital that we understand the truth about the American economy. How did we go from the Great Depression to 30 years of great prosperity, and from there to 30 years of stagnant incomes and widening inequality, culminating in the Great Recession, and from the Great Recession into an anemic recovery? Well, let's learn this. Then you can vote. During 3 decades, from 47 to 77, the nation implemented what might be called a basic bargain with American workers. Employers paid them enough to buy what they produced. Mass production and mass consumption proved perfect complements, and almost everyone who wanted a job could find one with good wages, or at least wages that were trending upward. During these 3 decades, everyone's wages grew, not just those at or near the top. Government enforced the basic bargain in several ways. It used Keynesian policy to achieve nearly full employment. It gave ordinary workers more bargaining power. It provided social insurance, and it expanded public investment. Consequently, the portion of total income that went to the middle class grew, while the portion going to the top declined. But this was no zero-sum game. As the economy grew, almost everyone came out ahead, including those at the top. This was what happened. I'm now inserting my own little narrative here. This is exactly what happened during Bill Clinton's administration. The rich got richer and the poor got richer. The middle class got richer. Everyone did well or better than before he was president.